Good afternoon. My name is Mervi Lamminen. I remember once, maybe 20 years ago, heard one rule when you're giving a presentation. That one rule was ABL, always before lunch. And I think I'm breaking it now, so it's my hard job to keep you guys awake. If not anything else, I try to be as loud as possible so you can't be sleeping. So I'm the founder and the CEO of Auntie Solutions, a company that was founded approximately 5 years ago. We are helping people, employees, to feel better and reduce the stress levels. But not so much about us, because that's not what we're here to learn or to hear about. But we are talking about how we can manage our employee well-being, how can we manage throughout the work days. I could spend hours talking about this. I can talk for hours about many subjects, but especially this, because this is my favorite thing. But our customers, our employees that has been going through our service, say it better than I ever could. So I wanted to use a couple of those. We actually have a thesis just getting ready in this spring, where we interviewed our end users. And I think this is something that quite a few of us can relate to. That actually we can go through the work day and we are fine. That goes to us and to our team members. But when the day is at the end, when we go home, there is nothing left. We are just so tired that instead of doing all the things that we should be doing, we should be going out with our kids and go swimming and do our exercises and meet our friends. But instead, we end up on a couch playing with our phone. That's not the way it should be. This example, I'll give you a second to read it. This is a manager, middle-aged lady. And if you read that, I want to let that sink in. If you read that, she is not worried about making it till the next summer. She's not thinking whether she can work until she gets retired. She's not sure if she can make it to the next week. I'm not sure what weekday that was. If it was Wednesday, it was maybe 2 days, that she wasn't sure if she can make it till the next week. And even in that situation, she doesn't want to tell no one, because they could be worried. Like, yeah, hell, they should be worried. She should be worried. But instead of doing something concrete about it, she's just worried about others. This is also, I think, this is especially familiar to people who are in the leading positions and also in HR. For some reason, these people are so keen and used to helping others that they forget about themselves. And what is the thing that follows from here? I don't know if you are familiar with the term presenteeism, but I think this is quite good definition of it. The lights are on, but nobody's home. We are talking about people who are willing to work, who would like to work, but are unable to do so for some reason. It might be physical or it might be emotional, mental reason. But for some reason, they are not capable of working. They do show up. They do come to workplace because they do want to be the good employee who is always there and doesn't want to let other employees, colleagues down. But what does it mean? It sounds actually quite good, that do not let other people down, do your work, go there, you'll get something done. But it's not that simple. There are plenty of research concerning this presenteeism, showing up but not being able to do things. And what does it mean in terms of efficiency? 1/3 is taken away. being at work but not able to do, not being able to fully functioning takes 1/3 of our ability. Now, if you think about some people coming to you and asking that, hey, would it be all right that from now on you pay me the same salary, but I only come to work on 3 days instead of 5 days? I think we all know what the answer would be. That, yeah, that was a nice question, go back to work and get it done. So we know for sure that this is not something that we want to go with. But for some reason, we are not doing too much at all when it comes to this presenteeism, our inability to function at work. Because we feel that there is nothing we can do. I think that's maybe the major reason why we don't do anything about it. We don't know what to do. We are just giving our thumbs up that, hey, go ahead, jaksa, keep up the good work. Summer vacation is on. That's what we see all the time. Oh, summer vacation is going to be in a couple of months. I'll be fine. Truth is, you won't be fine. In summer vacation, you can sleep. Yes, that's true. But you cannot solve the problems that are in your way of doing work in the work environment. I want to show you another other example of what it does. So when we talk about, for example, depression, when somebody is having a sick leave, let's say for 1 month, we all know that if somebody goes off from work on a sick leave because of depression, that's not going to be cheap. That's not going to be 3 days on my own notice. It's going to be longer. So it might be 1 month. So yes, most of us might be thinking, at least at some point, after getting the first reaction that we are sorry for you, what can we do for you? At some point we do think about, oh my God, this is going to be costly. This is going to be really expensive for the company. This person is going to be away for 1 month. But you shouldn't be worried about that. You should be worried about the 3 months of cost that comes to the organization. In form of reduced ability to work, most likely also the effects around the person who is actually being on sick leave. The other ones are suffering there as well. So that is something that I think we are not paying half of the attention that we should be. Woody Allen says that 80% of success comes from simply showing up. I can relate to that. Being an entrepreneur for 5 years, first 2 years it was just about showing up. Getting this no, thank you, but not no thank you this time. And one has to do, what one has to do is to show up. Just keep showing up. But when it comes to actually work environment, I hate to be the one that breaks the news for you, Woody, but that's not the case. Showing up is just not enough. And we shouldn't accept it as it is. What are the things that people need support for? This is from our data, from our statistics. Number 1 is stress. Doesn't come as a surprise for any of us. When we talk about sleepless, inability to sleep, stress is there, the number 1 as well. Missing work-life balance. We are already approaching issues that we might all say that, hey, this is not our thing. It's not our thing to take care of people, employees' work-life balance. It's their own responsibility. Well, yeah, that might be the case. But you might want to think it twice through before making any decisions concerning that. And lack of motivation. Even in high positions, people do start losing the motivation at some point when there is enough obstacles in their way. I don't usually like the blame game so much, but of course I think there is a need to ask whose fault is it. I think quite a few times we run into this, for example, when it comes to relationship issues, that hey, it's none of our business. We do not want to go there where people, when we are talking about our employees' relationships. Because yes, that is a fact. It is their business, it's not company's business. But what I would like people to think is that when the relationship isn't going that great and the person will be on a sick leave or will be suffering from this presenteeism, coming to the work but not functioning, is it any cheaper? Is it easier to say that, hey, the sick leaves due to flu are cheaper than the sick leaves due to the relationship ending? So even though it's not company's business, it might be in company's best interest to do something before it's too late. We know from a lot of research that when we help people in early stages enough, the help is most likely a small help is enough. Instead, when we only do the intervention later, it's going to be also much more costly and more unlike that it's going to be work. So yes, I think it's not about being shame on us only talking about the company. It is also on the responsibility of the individual employee. The higher we go in organization, the more there is responsibility, I think, because the more there is possibilities to affect your own work. And what can we do about it? We can do a lot about it. Way too often I still hear that there is nothing we can do about it. There are burnouts. People just do burnout, they get depression, we can't do anything about it. Well, that is bullshit. There are, but there shouldn't be as many as there are. And yes, it's a disease, and I do not mean to put it down, but there are a lot of things we can do to prevent. Harvard Business Review wrote about early support. What are the things that people need in order to participate and to be involved with these early actions that companies offer? Because I know that is most likely a problem for quite a few company programs. People do want something that is tailored just for them. They don't want general that, hey, let's go all together and sit and hear about this. They want something that is tailored for them when they need it. We don't even hear about things if we don't have the need. And yes, we want resolutions. We don't want to go to school to learn all about background. We just want resolutions. We want somebody to solve our problems or somebody to help us to solve the problem that we have. Here is a few numbers from our own statistics, from our own data, how stress levels go down. I do want to emphasize here that we are not able to take a workload away from anyone. We can't do that. We don't have permission to do that. The only thing we can do is to help people to think about their jobs differently, to have a new way of reacting to stress, maybe within boundaries. We can only help in that aspect. We cannot take the workload away, which is, I think, really important to note here. Once again, there is our customer who is saying this. If we all learn that, how to calm myself down, then there is no need for us to walk around before coming to the stage because we're so nervous. We know how to do it. There is no need for us to get upset in a weekly meeting because we know how to calm ourselves down, to how to put things in perspective. I thank you for your attention. Our stand is right over there if you want to hear more about what we do, and at least take care of our employees at your companies. Thank you.